very much. We have been the Middle Aisle with Leela on the piano, with Liam on the double bass, with Patrick on the accordion and the clarinet, with Eleanor on the violin, with Tim on the clarinet, and with Amelia on the piccolo and flute. Should we give them one more?
Now? No. Now? No. Yes, I think, no. Now. No, not yet. Now. No, not yet. Now. No. Now. No.
Soundart Radio. This is Ergo and Depresstival, and we are broadcasting once again this week from Shipton Abbott.
A few hours earlier.
A few hours earlier.
So this is right.
Yeah.
I don't know, we can play guess what time it is.
Yeah, guess what time it is. We stayed up too late, and then we thought, what the hey?
Depressed.
Yeah, we thought, what the hey? If we try to go to sleep now, we're going to have to get up kind of soon, and then go over to the radio station and be hanging and do a terrible show. And so we thought instead we'd do a sort of twilight show, appropriately enough, because the last few nights the Twilight Saga has been gracing this room.
It's what I do when I'm really depressed.
I haven't managed to take any of it in, but I have drawn some pictures.
There's nothing going on at all.
Yeah,
it's really boring.
I've drawn some nice pictures of them.
I think maybe that's why I like watching it, because it's so black. Nothing happened. The fourth one, I remember, because I don't know. I was reading it and watching it when I was studying philosophy and was really depressed. And I remember the fourth one. The whole.
And how many
film,
are there altogether?
There's 5. They did that thing where they split one of the books in 2, and the fourth one.
Oh, a Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry
Did they
Potter.
do that before Harry Potter?
I can't remember. It was around the same time, I think, maybe. But the fourth one is like. There's this whole fight sequence, and everybody dies, and then and it goes on for ages, and then it turns out it was all a dream.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, my connection.
I've never seen a film that's that just really goes for it in that way.
My connection with popular culture, as you know, is it's quite distant, but am I correct in remembering that they made a movie of Tolkien's The Hobbit, and that was also split into two movies? Which
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
I mean, I mean,
It's like a children's book. It's about
I
that
didn't
big,
see it.
right?
It's
That's
like
small.
it's about 200 pages,
Yeah.
maybe. I was in a theatre production of it
Oh.
as a teenager. I was cast as the fat little hobbit, Bomber. At Billingham Forum. So we listened to planned events in sequence from Mixed Ensemble by our dear friend, the brilliant young composer. I'm old, so I can say young composer now. The brilliant young composer, Sam Pradalie, who is also the kind of person who we need more of in the world. And we, and that was a recent piece composed by Sam. I'm not sure who the instrumentalists are, but I know it was recorded at Bristol Cube. Yeah, you heard me. Bristol Cube. Oh no, Cube Microplex. I have to get it right. So here we are at the break of day here in Shipton Abbot. The sky is sort of a bluish grey. Can't tell if it's going to be cloudy or sunny. I expect just down the street from us, the bakers are busy baking their loaves, and everyone else in all the shops is hopefully still asleep, unless they're out doing their CrossFit. And people like not the.
I've already heard the Twilight Abattoir van going past.
Yeah, we have. And in like the hardware store, the guy is currently, he's got his sleeping cap on and his nightgown.
Which is made of nails.
Yeah. And he's getting ready at 5 to 9 to slide down his fireman's pole first.
It also has nails all the way down it.
Which has nails all the way down it. And he has some nice nail sandwiches for breakfast. And that's what happens in the hardware store. And the birds haven't woken up yet, but all going well here on this, not live, but a few hours before.
I mean, I'm
live.
sure, there's some relativity thing going on, which means it's at the same time.
Yeah, well, of course. But, hopefully at some point during this transmission, you're going to hear the birds wake up, which would be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, we couldn't do this if we were transmitting live from the studio, because the birds won't wake up. They didn't stay up all night. They're going to get up when they usually get up. And do you know what they're going to do when they wake up? Well, what do you know? When the birdies round here wake up, the pigeons and the jackdaws, they come straight to our house, don't they? They come straight to our house for their breakfast, and then they come intermittently throughout the day
to shout at us.
For their lunch and their dinner and some
They've
snacks.
got very nice blue eyes.
The pigeon
Has very nice yellow eyes.
Yes. And we discovered this thing that I didn't know, that wood pigeons have a sort of droopy pupil, don't they? Which is what I was at school, a sort of droopy pupil. And the jackdaws, they prefer the suet to the seeds.
They do prefer the suet.
The wood pigeon loves the seeds.
But the thing I've noticed,
Jackdaw loves the
since we
suet.
started feeding them,
Yeah.
because people get really funny about this, is they've stopped ripping all the bins up. So,
Yeah.
just put up a bird feeder.
Well, precisely this went on when I lived in a little flat on my own in Bridport. And my best friends at the time were the gulls. There was lots of gulls. And I noticed that the gulls were tearing up all the bins because they were looking for food. So I started putting food out the back for the gulls, and eventually, as you saw, they would come to my window, peck on the window, and say, "Hey, where's me dinner?" And then one day, shortly after, 2 of the neighbours ganged up on me, told me to stop feeding those birds because they're a pest and a nuisance. So I stopped feeding the birds. What do you know, next day, all the bins were torn up again.
But it doesn't matter, because the important thing is to make sure
No
that another
human
species
is...
has a horrible time.
Yeah, that does seem to be the main thing. And, like...
Oh,
they're waking up right now. One thing that is really vexing me at the moment, continuing on from your statement about making sure that other people don't have a nice time. Now, I have been very surprised in my in our personal lives, haven't we, by how determined many people seem to not be nice and to not show what we thought were the basic virtues of humanity, things like compassion and empathy. And I think when people say humility, oh, there is an immense murmuration going on now.
You know what?
They are very awake.
They're all in pairs.
Yes, they fly around as lovers.
So they're all going on dates.
Which is wonderful, yeah.
But they're not sentient.
No. Isn't it strange to think that we ever... I mean, what an undeveloped species intellectually we must be to have ever asked 2 questions. One, of course... Is there life on other planets? Yes, of course there is, because we live in an infinite universe. And 2, are animals sentient? Are animals aware that they exist? How do you think they walk around? How do you think they make the decision to eat? How do you think they make the decision to make love and have babies? How do they, apart from mankind, animals are pretty good at avoiding predators. How do they do it all? And to be here in Shipton at nearly 5 a.m, and right now there's a murmuration of...
That's amazing.
I could not tell you how many jackdaws, but it is an absolutely astonishing sight. They look like a shoal of fish, and they look like television interference, and they're flying against the blue-grey sky like little dots of the night that remains. Ooh. And we also just thought, since we'd got to about 20 to 5, we also just thought, well, of all the radio that we've both been involved with, I don't think I've ever made 5 a.m. radio before.
I don't think so.
Because usually 5 a.m.
Oh, well, I've made 5 a.m. edits and sound design when I've had a deadline, so...
Oh, yeah, on deadlines. Yeah, but this is relaxed format. This isn't intense deadline. It's relaxed format. We're chill. We're in our pyjamas. Literally. I'll tell you what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my muscle vest, which I've had for years and years and years and years and years, on my top half. And on my bottom half, if one is allowed, in fact, to say bottom by Ofcom guidelines, I'm wearing what I affectionately know as my kilt. And this is a sort of interspecies item of clothing, multifunctional and shape-shifting.
Does that mean a dog can wear it as well?
A dog could wear it, yeah. But the point is, you can wear it in multiple ways, because when the weather is, when it gets nippy, you wear it. It's a nightshirt, like an old-style nightshirt, blue with checks on it and things like that, buttons up the front on the top half. But if the weather be clement, or if the weather be, as it is at the moment, intolerably hot, you're going to be roasting with that winter nightshirt. But I tell you what, pull that nightshirt just onto the bottom half of your body, tie the sleeves up like a belt. You have yourself a beautiful, airy kilt. And you feel kind of like a Scotsman and kind of like Marilyn Monroe. It's wonderful.
I remember that somebody that I was living with, I think, was talking about how they discovered some life hack which was putting their foot out from under the duvet when it gets hot, but I didn't really think that was...
That's not really a life
really
hack.
a life hack, is it?
No, that's just when you get hot, you put your feet out the blanket, because that's what you do.
It was on a list of all these like life hacks, and I don't know.
So these life hacks, I mean, life hack is a term that
you could use for violent encounters.
Well, yeah, you really could. But the life hack thing is a new term to me. I've only seen it a couple of times, and it means like what? It means...
I don't know.
Things
I think it's just more sort of fetish language, really.
Yeah.
It's like you can make a list about all of these things and put it online.
Yeah, I think
somebody makes money somewhere, but I don't really understand how it works.
Yeah, I think the best kind of, I guess, like what a life hack is supposed to be. I guess the best kind of life hack that I really like, is life hacks for other people, for the benefit of other people. Because if you sort of break the expected pattern, oh, there goes the bell, 5 a.m. If you break the anticipated pattern, then somehow I'm convinced the fabric of reality breaks a little bit, at least for that person, and maybe it makes that person think a little differently or something. And this is a very simple thing, a very simple piece of, I think, the kind of activism which is most needed, which is a kind of mischievous activism, which is mainly concerned with altering the patterns and expectations by which people think, because actually we live in a vast and unpredictable, endless cosmos, and every leaf is different. Never mind every person, every leaf is different, and so we are surrounded by chaos, and a lot of the problems I think that we have in our society are based around this complete disconnection that we have with the inherent chaos of existence, because we've put everything in straight lines. So, to practice this kind of activism is very simple. All you have to do is go into shops and be a bit silly. That's it. You've just got to say things to the shopkeeper that aren't necessarily what the shopkeeper might be anticipating. And it makes the shopkeeper have a better day. And it makes the people behind, who are more confused than the shopkeeper, also have a better day, because all the way through the day they're thinking, what did that bespectacled, beautiful man mean? Yeah, so that's what I would recommend to hack life, hack reality. Because we really need it, because we need as much change as possible to the norm and the status quo, because we are in now this is the post-Palestine, as pretty much as soon as it happened, this was the post-Gaza genocide iteration of society, in which vast swathes of society vastly support a live streamed Holocaust. Vast members of society are kind of indifferent and say, well, there's nothing I can do about it. And what seems to be and I hope I'm wrong about this, the minority who are actually trying to speak up and do something and make a difference, who basically by this point I think can be defined as the resistance, in the same way that we talk about the French resistance. Because the problem is the same way that what happened in Nazi Germany, if vast swathes of the population are willing to just continue and pay their taxes while horrendous things happen that don't affect them.
Except it does affect them.
Yeah, but bear in mind also the population in Nazi Germany did not, apart from the people who lived very nearby the concentration camps, did not know what was going on in there. And everybody knows, and I have, well, both of us, we have lost friends and family.
Oh,
through this
conversation with anyone for years.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and people's attitude to this, even people very close to me, has shocked me deeply, and speaks of the utter decline of this society. Because if you have a society without ethics and without compassion and without humility, then you don't really have a society anymore. You just have an ugliness.
One thing I find really odd is the fact that some people are allowed to say that they object to it, and everybody goes, yeah, blah, 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 and then other people say it, and then they get attacked. But I was thinking about that, all I've really said is the same as, kind of what a lot of governments are saying, which is violence is, well, no, it's more than that, but saying there needs to be a ceasefire. But for some reason, when I say it, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But when a politician says it, then it's fine. I don't really get it, really.
People are starting
it's probably, I'm just wondering whether it's also there's a sort of certain thing going on amongst all this where there's a kind of lens that people are using it as an opportunity to bring to the surface lots of things that they've had a problem with people about for years, and maybe it's just a generalised sort of McCarthyist sort of witch hunt.
Yeah. Oh, the sky's substantially lighter now.
Well, that's still on the radio. Or is that?
I think McCarthy's witch hunt isn't slares, so I think that's fine.
Isn't it? It depends who you talk to, really.
Yeah,
I just can't be bothered to pretend anymore.
One's allowed to talk about Senator Joe,
we know what's wrong, and we know that all of this is really stupid. So
we know what the problem is, and to me the most horrifying thing has been the many people who were just happy to tick along. To me, this happening should have been everybody should have stopped going to work.
Well, that's the thing, is it's bad enough that everything's happening, like
national strike,
but
international
also that we
strike.
have to lie about it and pretend that nothing is happening, when also, if you zoom out a bit, everything else is on fire as well.
Yeah.
And apparently that's just really has a really long term, as a sort of everything being on fire, that has real longevity as a society, doesn't it? As a structure.
Yeah, really.
Everything being on fire. But I have to lie about it and pretend.
Yeah, but we
fine,
mustn't lie about it.
Which
this fine morning.
Obviously not gonna do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's past the time for lying, and now is the time for action. And when I'm saying action, just in case the fuzz is listening, I'm not talking about going into RAF bases with paint.
One member of the police force who's really into sort of contact miking and stuff.
Yeah, but although I don't necessarily agree that painting things equals tour, but what I'm talking about is more like the things that we can do are, like I was talking earlier, trying to sort of shift reality a bit, trying to make life a bit more exciting and fun, making art interventions. And instead of going on, putting your music on Spotify and trying to reach an international audience, which is never going to happen without like loads of money put behind your music. Like, this is just a lie that that's ever happened to anybody, as in this iteration of the music industry at least. So instead of putting music on Spotify, make a tape club, all your friends go on eBay, buy tape machines, make a tape club, share music that way, put on gigs in community centres. You don't want to put gigs on really in pubs anymore, because pubs now have like bouncers on the door.
Well, that was always the whole point of the DIY.
Yeah, it's just not cool to play somewhere that has security, No way.
Because then it's all ages, and then you don't have people being beaten up by security.
Yeah, we can totally have an absolutely astonishing culture again, because there are so many people, even if there are millions and millions and millions of people who are complacent dullards, who are full of hate, there are also millions and millions of people who are brilliant and inventive and full of ideas. I know lots of them. I'm sat in a room with one of them right now, early in the morning, in my pajamas. Yeah, I'm one of them, shucks. Instead of, especially to young people, instead of thinking that like everything is hopeless and you don't know, both my children have expressed this thing both my older children have expressed this thing that all of their friends feel like it's a bit sketchy whether there's a future or not. Nice way to live. Nice way to live. But instead of feeling like that, we do need to reclaim the future away from, basically the demagogues and the big businessmen. The billionaires will not save you. They have no interest in you. But the point of art has never been to make money. Initially, don't make art. Don't make a band so you can make money. Make a band so we can have a culture again, and it's not just on the young people. If you're older, get together with your mates from the laundrette and get a skiffle band together and go and ask your local art centre, say, hey, we just got a skiffle band together, can we play? And your local art centre, unless they're like like the terrible sort of ideologised venues like you get in Bristol, the local art centre will probably say yes. Now, speaking of local art centres, in the lovely town of Ashburton, with which you're all familiar, there is going to be on Friday, July the 11th, a large-scale community concert for Palestine with international artists and local artists, songwriting, poetry, performance, projections, contributions from Palestinian artists on video. And there is currently a call for performers. The bill is already pretty packed, which I haven't shown you actually, Lottie, but we got a giant list of performers earlier from lovely Andy at Ashburton Arts Centre. And so if you would be interested in performing at our next concert for Palestine, which takes place at Ashburton Arts Centre, then get in touch with box office at ashburtonarts.org.uk. And that night Friday night, is going to be an absolute blast. Should the weather be clement, we may have some outside entertainments with gramophones, etc., etc. The wonderful Tom Wood from the aptly named Tom Wood Antiques had some stereoscopic images of Palestine from the 1910s and has also provided a stereoscope viewer to look at these remarkable images in the wonder of Edwardian 3D, and the event will be compared by Lottie and myself, and that should be quite an evening, and we won't stay up all night the day before. No, your weather update, it is 5:14. So the blue-grey sky turned into the sort of classic English Tupperware white sky, but that is now clearing, and I am beginning to see sheaths, not cheese, sheaths of blue beginning to emerge betwixt the blanket of soft sheep's wool across the firmament. The jackdaws did their vast murmuration.
They've gone.
And then they disappeared. I'm not sure. They have not come for breakfast yet, but maybe they're snubbing us because we've run out of suet.
Oh yeah, maybe actually.
Mm-hmm. We ran out of suet, and like I said earlier in this program, just for reference to anyone, the jackdaws prefer suet, and the pigeons prefer seeds. You see. And I've been giving them a lot of seeds. Oh, there goes the jackdaw now. Maybe they're checking out the seeds. But anyway, Mr. Pigeon will be up soon. So, yeah, that will be swell. He'll be here soon to come and visit. Also from the aforementioned Tom Wood Antiques, I have been collecting magic lantern slides, and earlier, the night before now, when we were still awake, I categorized them into people, landscapes, text, drawings, architecture and decorative, narrative paintings, religion, animals, boats, aviation, and finally composites, in which I've been sticking 2 or 3 lantern slides together to create surprising and I think quite beautiful images. I've always had this idea that the most refined collage is the kind of collage where the artist intervenes as little as possible. And with finding these lantern slides that combine, and obviously we can see through all 2 or 3 of them to convey a narrative, I feel like maybe this is an exciting medium. So maybe you should also go buy some magic lantern slides, but don't go where I go to get them, go somewhere else, and do it yourself. DIY, just like we used to do before we decided that the only validation for our music
someone else funds it.
Is, well, more specifically nowadays, the only validation for music is if it is platformed via a company that is run by the CEO of a vast military company.
Hooray!
Yeah, so your music industry is the military, baby, and I didn't realise how much this was the case, and I've always been suspicious of the music industry, and the music industry's never wanted me anyway, although some people did try back in the 2000s, which is kind of amusing to think of in retrospect. But this music industry thing now, it's not the music industry, it's the military. Everything is the military. Everything is the military. It's insane. Why is everything the military? Why is, if you go and buy a bag of Quavers, it funds the military. I don't know, Quavers specifically. Oh yeah, because they're Walkers. Walkers funds the military. All of these...
I don't know, yeah, do they? I think they do, probably.
Well,
it's called Lays in the States, isn't it?
Lays, yeah. and the Coca-Cola and Unilever, all of the the film industry and the music, and now the CEO of Spotify is now the CEO of a giant military company. So Spotify is literally the military now.
I was on YouTube and I saw somebody talking about boycotting Nestle, and underneath there was obviously younger person being like, "Oh, Nestle boycotts, is that some woke agenda?" sort of thing, and it's kind of like so we're getting to the point now where people have forgotten about the Nestle thing.
Yeah, it's
which
amazing.
Is quite amazing.
Yeah.
They were the original, weren't they?
Yeah, they are, and
they killed loads of people.
yeah, and it's shocking to think of their beginnings when they opened that cabaret club in Weimar where Sally Bowles used to sing, and from that point moving on to confectionery was, I don't know.
Inevitable.
Weren't you telling me that there is a production of Cabaret on in London now?
There was a recent one
where they've cut all the political content.
I don't know, I'm not entirely sure about that, but they just called it the Cat Club, I think. I don't know whether that means it's taken out a storyline, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Well, it's very fascinating times that we live in. I was talking to my friend Tom earlier on about how difficult, nigh on impossible, it is now to, with any conscience, participate at all in this society. And we have been spending a substantially larger amount of time with the birdies.
Yeah.
And with these 6 guinea pigs.
Years, really.
But particularly more lately, the birdies are kind of, the pigeon has pretty much moved in.
Yeah.
And it's completely wonderful. And what is blowing my mind at the moment is that they're going to come for their food soon. Is that everybody is looking. Here they are. Listen, I won't talk. Yeah, they took some seeds.
Seeds.
Everybody is staring at their phone, right?
So they don't realise how bad it's gone.
Yeah,
they can't see it.
But also they're watching TV, and also, I don't know, doom scrolling down social networks. And there are so many things around us that are utterly, painfully beautiful. Like the sight of 2 jackdaws arguing on the windowsill. And there are so many things which are desperately, painfully beautiful. Things around us, and also things that we have made. Human beings, or the autistic ones, made.
Well, it's kind of, we should just give up on all of it. Like on the iPad advert, just give up on all of it, crush it all.
Yeah, the iPad advert where they crush the entirety of human invention. Yeah.
And then sell it for thousands of pounds.
Yeah, and to me, again,
nothing.
Hello. This was a conversation we were having earlier, that music is this infinite, mysterious, universal language, and it's a language of abstraction, hence its universality. And it is actually a tragedy that this remarkable thing is primarily experienced by human beings as a commodity.
Amazing.
It is 5:23. 2 plus 3 equals 5. It's one of the magic hours.
I think we should pause it.
You think we should pause it? Well, okay. We'll go to a track. Let's go to a piece of music by the brilliant, genius polymath from Palestine, who listens to our show will be familiar with. The great human being, Shadi Zaqtan, who at the end of this show, we're broadcasting a very special piece from Shadi. Here is the Maestro Zaqtan.
غدروا بي فتعلمت الوفاء عذبوني فتعلمت الجلاد أوف أوف أبعدوني فإذا البعد انتماء وعطاء يتغنى بالبلاء فإذا مت على درب الفداء فإذا مت على درب الفداء كثر بعد رفاقي والولد كثر بعد رفاقي والولد أوف 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 غدروا بي فتعلمت الوفاء عذبوني فتعلمت الجلال أوف أبعدوني فإذا البعد انتماء وعطاء يتغنى بالبلاء فإذا مت على درب الفداء فإذا مت على درب الفداء كثر بعد رفاقي والولد كثر بعد رفاقي والولد أوف 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 غدروا بي فتعلمت الوفاء the first morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for praise from them springing fresh from the world. Jackdaws. Jackdaws. Pigeon.
We're having a fight now.
The pigeon is here now. The pigeon is really hard though. Like he really isn't concerned about the jackdaws, and he just pops his head at them. But he's nice, I've noticed. The pigeon is nice to baby jackdaw. Baby jackdaw's there now.
Oh, they're lovely.
Yeah, baby jackdaw and pigeon, they hang out together. Our baby jackdaw flew away. That might be... Oh, there's another very young jackdaw here. This is the jackdaw who looks slightly cross-eyed. This pigeon is a very funny guy.
They're amazing.
No, it's a real tragedy on the part of, like, the amount that humanity has missed out on in their kind of assignation of the animal kingdom as inferior. The amount of, like,
Oh, it's amazing.
joy
Really.
that
It's
people
just-
miss out
it's
on,
just
and
ridiculous.
I am just. Oh, look, his tail is in our house. I am continually astonished when we look out the window here in Shipton and the jackdaws are flying in a tremendous, phenomenal, I mean, shattering formation over everybody's heads. And there is usually only one or two people will look up. Usually, often
it's
nobody,
amazing.
and
bizarre.
I do not understand why they aren't
What?
interested. Hey, the jackdaw is got his tail in our house. It was pigeon before, but I don't understand why they're not interested. So, I would like to do a call out.
He's looking through the window.
Yeah, I would like to do a call out for an interview for this show. I would like to interview a really boring person who doesn't find a murmuration of birds fascinating. So,
You should be the type of person who thinks that if you don't buy new clothes covered in branding, then that means that you're evil.
yeah, if you, why don't you wear brands like a normal person? If you
That's
are a person who does not find a murmuration of birds to be unutterably beautiful, get in touch and come on our show and explain why you don't and what you do find beautiful.
Wow, look how many there are.
There are many jackdaws, and
They're trying to-
they're kind of coming in our house.
See, everyone says that Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds is a horror film, but I just can't really see it, you know? It seems like best case scenario.
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
there are worse things that
I
can
mean,
happen
I
than
watch
an
it,
ornithological coup.
It's just wonderful. I would feel so privileged. Oh, 2 pigeons.
Yeah, 2 pigeons and 2 jackdaws on the windowsill right now, having their breakfast. I believe that's a mama and a bebe.
Is he doing the sticking it up into his mouth?
I don't know.
Yes.
But that's, I believe that's, oh no, I think that's also, no, that's a baby as well, that's a young one. Look how downy it still has that stuff that looks like hair
It's
on
weird
the back
that
of his
birds
head.
start off like fluffier and bigger than their parents, and then they get small.
Yeah. Oh, we have jackdaws in our house now. On the air, 5:32 in the morning, a jackdaw's bottom is in our living room, which is new. They haven't been this bold before. They're really starting to trust us, which is wonderful.
It's amazing.
Yeah. this honestly was a major part of the reason as well why I thought, well, let's broadcast from Shipton this week since we stayed up, because maybe, the jackdaw's head is in our house now. The jackdaw is looking into the jackdaw is inside our house.
You can get in if they want.
Yeah, of course they can.
They should do it.
Yeah, come in, say hi. This jackdaw party is.
I remember when I was a kid, right? I was walking across the sort of field green bit, like in the middle of very rural Isle of Wight, in the middle of nowhere in the night, and I heard this noise that was like right by my ear, that was screaming. I'd never heard anything like it, like a sort of banshee from hell. And I ran in the back door, like properly freaked out, and I really scared my father, and he didn't understand why I was sort of thing. And then years later, I got into watching live feeds of barn owl cameras, and I worked out that it was an owl, right? Because they were sort of very nice, like, oh look, there's owls. But then when they're all very, and then they obviously when they're feeding, there's a lot of screaming. But that's what it was.
I scream when I'm feeding.
It was right next to my ear.
Yeah, that's why I don't dine out, as well as finding dining out to be slightly obscene at a historical moment like this. I don't dine out because, as Lottie will testify to, whenever I'm eating, I scream all the way through that. All the way through.
That's what makes it interesting.
It's really difficult to masticate because your mouth is just open the whole time. I have to just scream and hope it just drops down. Of course, eventually it does, otherwise I'd be dead now, wouldn't I? But yeah, that is true. It is 5:36. Lottie is boiling the kettle. The jackdaws have had their breakfast. Gonna go to sleep at some point, but I'm glad we stayed up to transmit this to you from Shipton. Our jackdaw extravaganza. Now, you don't hear the word extravaganza next to bird names very often, but I tell you this, in future we will. It reminds me of a wonderful story, I believe from Peru, that there is a waterfall that until unfortunately very recently, but let's ignore that, there is a waterfall that no human ever was able to get behind, and the swifts fly into this waterfall, and the humans believed for, I would guess, millennia, that behind this waterfall was a magical dimension which was the kingdom of the swifts. And all birds, of course, have a magical dimension kingdom. You don't think they only live in this boring place, do you? They can go wherever they want, they can zip between them. Haven't you heard? There's little black holes everywhere, possibly thousands of them in your house. What are they called again? Primordial black holes. This is new science.
They're proposed, it's been proposed for ages.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but...
Primordial black holes all over your house. So the birds and anything can zip in and out of dimensions. You know those times when something really precious and important and small that was in your hand falls on the floor, and then you look for it and it's gone.
See, I thought it was ADHD, but I'm starting to change my mind.
No, I think it's primordial black holes.
Yeah.
And that's where your socks have gone too.
Yeah.
Man, it is so brilliant having animal friends. It's different to pets.
Yeah,
I mean, we
I don't
do
really
have
pets.
Well, no,
Not really,
they're your familiars, aren't they? The guinea pigs.
More like these two really weird, Well, there's 6 at the moment.
We're also sitting.
They're more like
sitting.
varying shades of violence.
Yeah, varying shades of violence.
Liberace's the one who's really messed up.
Well violent.
The youngest.
Hey, little Jackdaw's looking in and has been jumping on the ledge and coming into the living room, which is wonderful.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm glad you're here with us, listeners. My stayed up all night voice is sounding particularly late night radio. Hey, Jackdaw.
Hello.
We got another tune now from Dizzy Gillespie, and after that I'll be giving the traffic updates. That's my good morning radio voice. That was my imitation of Tom Waits in Night on Earth. Hey, Lottie, you pointed out that...
I haven't seen Night on Earth.
Oh, beautiful film. You pointed out that there's this remarkable thing, that there's a whole culture of of polka, kind of
sort of like
xylophone bands
clunky.
with heavy clunking and kind of roaring, kind of singing. And none of the guys have ever heard of Tom
they've all
Waits.
never heard of Tom Waits.
They developed that sound interdependently as each other via
it's
collective
amazing.
unconscious.
It's like Leibniz and Newton all over again. Look at this. What's he doing?
2 pigeons, 1 jackdaw.
Oh.
Jackdaw is in our house again.
Oh, hello.
1 pigeon gave up the game and flew away, leaving friend pigeon and friend jackdaw as kings of their castle here at Chicken Aspic Towers in Shipton Abbot.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Yeah, a jackdaw or a crow or any kind of corvid has never been in the house I live in before. No. So listeners, you're experiencing something new.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
Birdwatch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Ghost Watch, but birds, but there are ghosts as well.
The jackdaw on the left has a round little fluffy head, a kind of little fluffy ball head. The jackdaw on the right, who is in the middle, looks like a mature jackdaw, I think, and has a very shiny head. And then pigeon, main friend, hello.
Oh.
Main friend pigeon, who is here most of the time, has a lovely, long, elegant, aquiline kind of neck, and the feathers on the side of the white feathers on the side of his neck are so kind of embossed. They look like gills. They are very beautiful, and everyone's really missing out by not having animal friends.
Yeah, people don't trust animals.
No.
Which is bizarre because they seem to trust other humans, and I think that's a terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
Really not a good idea. I mean, that's the thing, like, you know, dogs sort of like, they understand commerce, we should just deal with them.
Yeah, I've been very shocked recently to discover how normal and part of everyday life the act of lying is considered.
Amazing.
People very close to me have turned out to be extremely dishonest and shockingly so. And this, you know, this kind of dishonesty is always, you know, very, very destructive. And as well as the kind of inherent disappointment in that, there's also going back to the being vexed by the notion of what humanity is supposed to be, which is sort of empathy, compassion, humility. And I think maybe it was erroneous to ever prescribe that those attributes as really humanity.
It's not.
Because if it is only the minority of humanity who exhibit these attributes, then the jackdaw's bottom is very much in our living room now. And a beautiful tail. Which one is this? Is this fuzzy head or grey head? Oh, this is fuzzy head.
Fuzzy.
He's got the round fuzzy head. We also want to have that Tony Whitehead round.
Oh yeah.
Tony, if you're listening, we want you round here to talk about the birdies with us.
Oh yeah, you should come and
you could come meet friend pigeon.
Yeah, and friend jackdaw.
Friend jackdaw. It's very exciting.
There was a little some sort of like finch or something as well on the windowsill.
Oh, what, just now?
No, a few days ago, a little tiny songbird.
I've seen the little finches over there across the road.
They're that nice, small, fit in the hand.
Yeah, they climb vertically up the building and
Because a
then
bird in the
hide
hand
under the roof.
is just as good as a bird in a bush, or many birds in a bush, because if it's in the hand, then it's nice because you can pet it on the head.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's also good if they're in the bush because you can look at them and
Yeah.
you never know, maybe they'll sit in your hand.
Yeah. Well, also this reminds me, going back to this thing of, well, what constitutes humanity? And we say, oh, the humanity, meaning the, you know, the humanity, the human attribute is the empathy, the humility, the
Yeah, I see no real evidence.
compassion.
It's
And
everywhere.
we saw a video some years back of a guy who was talking about how he kept
Quail.
his quail.
Yeah.
And then, at one point in the video, he abruptly
He's holding the quail at the
holding
time.
the quail, and then abruptly used the phrase, "Then pull out your secateurs and pop its head off." And the majority of people watching this,
Oh, yeah.
nobody underneath said, "Wait a minute, pop its head off. Isn't that a touch psychopathic?
Well, I just think
Or
it's
at
a
least
bit-
sociopathic?"
it's a bit
But no,
weird
this is the
to-
norm in our culture.
it's
Pop its head off.
It's a bit weird to, like, make friends with animals and then you violently stab them. It
Very
seems
strange.
a bit weird. And,
But
like,
just the
call me
but
crazy,
even
but-
just the use of a
pop its head off.
the use of a lightening, you know, or a softening language to describe decapitation,
Decapitation is really weird.
something new. I mean, they weren't saying that in the French Revolution, were they? Marie Antoinette, pop her head off. You know, they weren't saying that. Decapitation there's no popping involved in
No.
decapitation.
But then the way that people would reason it would be saying that they're not sentient, they don't have any personhood, therefore when you're killing them, you're not actually killing them.
Yes, but as we said earlier,
It's not true, is it?
as we said earlier, thinking that the very idea that the other creatures that walk around and procreate
Which are
and
much
exist
older than us,
which are
oh my
much
God.
older than us, don't think, when actually we know that
I mean,
a
how
large
would we do
amount of
this?
human beings don't actually have thoughts.
Don't have thoughts. Or like, you know, don't,
It is
don't
a
have an
silly-
internal narrative.
It is as silly as asking if there is other life in the universe apart from this us dreadful group of flesh bags and our animal friends.
But I mean, it's just sort of what's more likely that there's only one species that's sentient on an entire planet, or that all of them are. So
Yeah.
I mean,
But the basic thing I don't understand about people who
especially because they're expressing will.
people
So
who argue against animal sentience, well, I just don't understand how
how
they
are you
think
really,
the animal
how,
can
how are
make
you thinking?
any decisions. How can it defend itself against a predator?
Why would it? How would it have survived evolutionarily?
And then people say, "Oh well, it's instinct." It's like, well,
Yes, so
most
it's
of the things
humans.
that we do are instinct.
Well, I mean, that's why everybody's like rolling around in the street, like punching each other and biting each other on the floor. I mean,
Yeah.
that seems like there's not a lot in the way of kind of higher cognitive
Yeah,
processes.
we are certainly not premeditating every act we do, and a large amount of the population cannot think more than about
if
3
we
minutes
were,
into the
if
future.
we were premeditating everything like that we do, then there wouldn't be so many people who accidentally fire a gun because they're not really thinking about it and then vastly regret it later on.
Yeah.
Now.
No, not yet.
Now.
No, not yet.
Now.
No.
I think that life is rich and beautiful and extraordinary, and there are many people in my life in the past who have accused me of being negative and so on. I am negative about the things that perhaps one should be negative about. Although I will utterly refute this idea, this stupid, simplistic idea that we can divide lived experience into positive and negative. It seems a tad simple there, doesn't it? But I'm in fact an extremely, I don't want to use the word positive, but I am completely enchanted by reality. And I don't think for a minute that, this is not the Richard Dawkins version of reality that we're talking about. Because the Richard Dawkins version of reality
Yes, I think...
is very much based around the notion of what we have already seen and observed, and comes with the presumption that everything to be seen and observed has already been seen and observed, which it clearly hasn't, because we're discovering new things all the time. We're discovering, of course, things like plasmoid life forms in the outer atmosphere, and the probability that space is absolutely ram-jam, hum-dinger-bam-jammed with life. And I keep going back to the thought that every branch and every leaf is a unique iteration of the same idea. And as I sit here at 6 o'clock in the morning with 2 jackdaws and 1 pigeon peeping their heads up to look at me occasionally, and looking at the beautiful trees in the beginning of the moor, I'm just frankly shocked that anybody is bored, because reality is astounding, and the magic is outside, but it's also inside you. And I have knowledge of magic. Yes, this is the 6 a.m. recording. As do many people. Reality is denser and stranger and darker.
Yes, I think... no.
Than we perhaps think. And it is also much lighter and more densely magical than we think. Everything will become dust, but isn't that dust
No, not yet.
enchanting when caught in a ray of light? And at 6 or 1 in the morning, having stayed up all night again through the hour of the wolf. Do you know about this? The second sleep, pre-electric light in Europe. Most people went to bed early, got up at 2 o'clock in the morning or so, and socialised, read a book, played cards with their neighbour, drank a cup of tea, maybe a tot of whiskey, and then they went back to bed at about, I guess, 4 or 5 a.m. until the light came back up. And the more time goes on, I begin to object to this idea that we're supposed to sleep at precisely the same time, that we're supposed to be regimented into a precise
If we all slept at the same
rhythm.
times, how would the health service cope?
This is true. But also I'm very sceptical nowadays of the days of the week and the months of the year. I'm very sceptical of the idea that we kind of channel our reality, we structure our reality around a calendar invented by Roman emperors. And I think it's possible to get closer to reality
by disregarding as much as possible the structures which have been put in place that attempt to dictate or at least gently suggest
Yes, I think.
what reality is. And I will go so far to say that the reality that the majority of people live in Western society is not reality at all.
Now.
No.
Now.
No.
Now.
Yes, I think. No.
Now.
So this is Ergo and Depresstival on Soundart Radio. If you just tuned in, we are broadcasting again from Shipton Abbott. We had every intention of coming into the studio today, but in fact we stayed up all night, and as we speak it is 11 minutes past 6. The birdies have came to our windowsill for their breakfast, and we've been sort of through the night broadcasting to be broadcast in the afternoon. So a couple of thoughts that have crossed my mind, Lottie. One, those early morning commercial radio DJs, they're very chirpy, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
They're very chipper.
Just because they've got a job.
Well, it's not just that; it's also the prevalence of cocaine in the media industry. But I was thinking like that because this is like early morning radio, even though it's broadcasting in the afternoon, that we should do some early morning commercial radio stuff, which is good because we're really hanging from staying up all night. But I was like racking my brains, and I'm not sure I've ever listened to early morning commercial radio. I have when I've been in people's cars and things like that.
With advertising on it?
No, I mean I would even say like early morning BBC, whoever's on that.
I used to listen to early morning Radio 1.
And what kind of things did they talk about on the morning show? Do you mean like
6 a.m. or 4 a.m?
Oh, either. I mean, we kind of crossed both.
Really late at night. Sometimes I'd phone them up.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
But this is more because it's 6:15 now. This is more like the morning slot.
They sort of talk about traffic a lot, I guess.
Okay, traffic here in Shipton Abbott.
Like celebrities.
The abattoir van went past earlier.
It does it in the night time.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that it's starting to...
Yeah, that's the traffic. That's the traffic, and not much else has been passed yet. Everybody, all the shopkeepers are still asleep, ready to slide down the fireman's poles into the shops. So that's the traffic. What was the other thing you said? Celebrities. There are some famous people in this world who, in the cultural lexicon, are known as celebrities. The etymology of that is obviously that it comes from being a celebrated person. Current celebrities include Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, the other guy from Top Gear, Vanessa May, Myling Klass, Shakira, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
But he's also a politician, celebrity. Lots of like celebrities.
Karl-Heinz Stockhausen.
Yeah, I mean he's a celebrity, but he's a dead celebrity.
Well, he's not dead.
He's not dead. He's on Sirius. Of course, we did reveal this information some time ago on this very program.
He does all
gave
this
that
PR
disclosure.
from Sirius.
He does.
doesn't he?
Yeah, it's astonishing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Really, the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi must be really strong,
Yeah,
or whatever they're using.
yeah. Well,
Obviously better than what we've got.
I think he probably got George Ante and Hedy Lamar to sort him out some super
yeah.
quick.
And of course, all
Well,
the
we
sort of
see-
aliens and that probably have better stuff.
And I reckon aliens really dig like music concrete.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was making a lot of music concrete using contact mics and bows on metal and things like that when over the period when we had our particularly heavy periods of alien or interdimensional visitations. So you could try and play those albums. You can stream them for free on my
You never know, they
on my
might turn up.
Bandcamp, ergo.phizmizmusic.bandcamp.com. Try playing the albums that are called Contact 123, out of your window at night, and you can see if any interstellar visitors come to visit you. Now, is there anything else that we do for commercial radio? They do like phone-ins, don't they? But we can't do a phone-in because
I
everyone's
have
asleep.
friends. So.
Yeah, well, I've got friends, but we both have friends, but we don't.
I don't.
We don't want to wake them up, do we? We don't want to wake them up. So we can't do the phone-in. Although someone might phone by coincidence, which would be amazing.
That's true. At
Which would
6
be
a.m.
really, at 6 a.m. a 6 a.m. call.
I
But
get a lot
that
of
would
phone
probably
calls
be an
from
emergency.
Companies
Yeah.
are my friends.
A 6 a.m. call.
That's why it's called company.
I think this is a rule that a 6 a.m. call, unless it's to a radio station, is always an emergency.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm. The only calls going through that signal exchange at 6 a.m. that aren't for an emergency are those going to commercial radio stations. But what I want to know is, what are the people who are calling the commercial radio stations for the morning show? What are they?
They're usually talking about what they're going to do that day.
Well, like minutiae. Do we talk minutiae of the day?
People talk about the holidays a lot, I think.
Right.
It's usually holiday based. Like,
Okay.
oh, this is Sarah who's just jetting off to somewhere with someone.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be a
Have
caller.
a lovely time.
I'll be a caller. This
Oh
is.
yeah, holiday beach something.
This is. Oh, all right, Steve. This is Tony. I'm just calling to say hi to me mum before I jet off to Magaluf tomorrow night, where I'm going to go for me holidays. I'm going to go on the beach and I'm going to drink sangria and I'm going to think of me mum, and then I'm going to go for a nice swim in the sea in me nice new trunks that I bought, and then after that I'm going to go clubbing and get really, really sweaty, Steve. And I just wanted to say hello to me mum, even though she's dead. And I wanted to say, Steve, one little bit of advice. If you ever get bitten by a snake while you're in Magaluf, don't worry, you'll probably be drunk. All right, Steve. Thanks a lot now. I hear the traffic's clear and the abattoir van's already been passed. Thank you, Steve. Bye. Was that good commercial radio?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it kind of like that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Sort of like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is 6:19 in the morning. Your weather update is that the sun is coming up, and the big shadows are starting to appear on the side of the building across the road. There is a haze across the trees on the top of the hills that looks like it will burn off. It looks like it will very shortly be very hot. And it's a very beautiful scene that I'm describing. There's a lovely murmuration of jackdaws, a sort of miniature one that keeps scanning past, and the sun is reflecting off all of industry's metallic accoutrements, and it's a very beautiful, painterly scene which I'm describing, and I would say that it is exquisite, and there is a sense of the divine, and I would say, isn't it unfortunate that the practices of human civilization appear to be perfectly fine to set this all on fire?
Yeah, it is really. I mean, this is another reason we're pre-recording a lot at the moment. I just can't. I can't do it anymore. The society. I don't really understand the point of
Yes, well, you are not
the
the only
mass
person.
destruction.
No.
It seems
The mass destruction, the turning a blind eye, the continuation
most
of
of the people I know
habits.
seem to have stopped talking to me because I'm against massive amounts of destruction.
I saw a
The only
very...
communication I've had with people at all over the last several years is people sending me cat videos or
Yeah.
something without any explanation, and it feels infantilizing and weird, and I don't know, it's kind of like, it is functionally sort of like being in the Matrix, but everybody's just awful. And that's the thing.
It's dystopia, but it's dull and everyone's horrible.
Yeah.
But not everyone. I know that there are some brilliant, beautiful people out there, and I know many of them. We also want to get to know all of you who are not crazy. It's time for the non-crazy people to kind of stick together.
I'm happy to talk to people
and to do
who
stuff.
are from very different different ends of the political spectrum to me, because I just mostly want to know why they think the way they do.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why I want someone who finds birds dull to come on our show. I want to understand why they find birds dull. Well, I believe we're coming to the, well, not quite to the end of the programme, but we did promise you earlier on that we were going to play you a very special piece by the genius Palestinian polymath, a poet, composer, theatre maker, sort of a filmmaker, a person who is brilliant and can do everything, and is one of the most admirable people that I've ever met. Although unfortunately we haven't met in the flesh yet. We've talked a lot via video call. Shadi Zaqtan is the son of Hassan Zaqtan, who was the most famous poet in Palestine, and his father, Khalil Zaqtan, was also the most famous poet in Palestine. So Shadi is third generation, most famous poet in Palestine. And he is also, as you will see, quite a brilliant musician and composer and producer. And we wanted to play the entirety of Shadi's beautiful score to the movie Palestinian on the Road, which is directed by Ismail El-Habash and traces the footsteps of Jesus through Palestine. I have not seen the film yet. I'm very much looking forward to being able to see it. You should go to Shadi's Bandcamp, Shadi Zaqtan, which is SHADIZAQTAN.bandcamp.com, and buy lots and lots of his music, because anybody from that part of the world, frankly, needs the cash more than you do. You hear that, Mum and Dad?
Okay, so thank you so much for listening. Here is Palestinian on the Road by Shadi Zaqtan. I've been Ergo Phizmiz.
I'm Depresstival.
And we can make this situation better, folks. We just all got to remember what humanity is supposed to mean. Good morning.
not yet.
Now.
No, not yet.
Now.
No.
Now.
No.
Now.
Yes, I think, no.
Now.
No, not yet.
Now.
No, not yet.
Now.
No.
Now.
No.
Now.
Yes, I think, no.
Now.
No.
Now.
No.
Now.
Yes, I think, no.
Now.
No.
Now.
No.
Now.
Yes, I think, no.
Now.
No.
Now.
No. Yes, I think, no.
Now.
No, not yet.
Now.
No, not yet.
Now.
No.
Now.
No.
Now.
Yes, I think, no.
Now.
No.
Now.
No.
Now.
Yes, I think, no.